All right, guys. That, like I said, that's 10-3 now. On to my final pick. And this is why my girlfriend's upset. So to give you guys a quick rundown, she would have hit for like $3,000 or something if she got her 12-leg parlay. Anyways, Sean O'Malley, Marlon Vera, she chose Chito Vera. And I said this to her, I'm like, look, you chose Chito, and like that's the reason why it would have been $3,000 because he was a big underdog. I am a huge Sean O'Malley fan, always have been. He fights out of Arizona. Love that dude. I told her, like, dude, I want Sean to win, but I'm like, if it means you getting $3,000, I'll pull for Chito because I want you to win. Right? Like that directly affects us, you know? But, dude, Sean put on a fucking masterclass. That's what it was. Sean's always, the reason I pick Sean, if you watch my video when I talked about picking Sean, I just said he's dialed in, and like he's dialed into a level that is just unmatched in most fighters, right? Like, even when you watch the Countdown and Embedded, you got Sean in a fucking Sprinter van because he's like, I need that extra 30 minutes per day so that I can study and get better and learn like holes and just, you know, he's always watching this shit. And I think then you see Chito driving. It was no fucking shade to Chito. I fucking love Chito at the same time. And I felt horrible for him because he's a good dude. But there's just different levels in this. Sean is clearly like, he lives and breathes like every element of the sport. And I know Chito does too, you know, he lives and breathes it. But like Sean is like, the way he moves around the cage it was mind-boggling to watch how he was just using Chito as a fucking Century Bob, dude. Like, he was beating the way Sean was landing on Chito last night is like when I fucking do my boxing workouts on Bob. Like, I feel like Sean O'Malley. Like, this motherfucker's getting hit with everything, but he can't throw back. That's how it fucking felt. And just the way Sean was able to move around the cage, switch stances, and the speed of his just strikes overall was astounding. And right off the bat, in round one, if you watch it back, because I remember watching just thinking, holy shit, like Sean lands like maybe one or two body shots and Chito's stomach and like liver area already like dark red, like it's red. Like he's taking some damage. And Sean's he's going anywhere he wants. He's hitting them in the stomach, then he's getting them in the face. He's hitting them with like crisp combinations. And they're not just like a 1-2. It's like a 1-2-3. He's tagging the fuck out of him. And it's a clinic. It's a masterclass. Then he hits him with that knee where like we were all laughing. That knee was so devastating. And like, how the fuck is Chito standing? I was really worried that Chito's orbital was broken. And I was super worried that he was staying in the fight because I'm like, this could be devastating. It could kill him if he gets hit with a certain amount of shots, right? He stayed in there though. But when Joe Rogan said, and this is like Joe has said some dumb shit, but I fucking love when he said, it sounds like a bat hitting a watermelon. Because there was no better way to put that. And I think that's where you got to give Joe Rogan some credit because that is a perfect analogy for what it sounded like. And just to go from that to just beating the shit out of Chito for 5 rounds. Of course, all the respect to Chito. I love Sean as a fighter, but all the respect to Chito because he's a great fighter. He's fucking durable. He's just got no quit in him, and I respect the fucking hell out of him. But, dude, you guys need to stop. Then this is for the people that hate on Sean O'Malley. You guys need to stop finding every reason to bitch and complain and say that he is not what he really is because Sean O'Malley has never been in a boring fight in the UFC. Like, go watch every fight of his. He's never been in a boring fight. He's always looking for the finish. I said this, and I know Tim said it in one of the when he was in the corner, but I said to my girlfriend, I'm like, dude, at the end of round 3, I was like, Sean can just coast right now. He can literally just skate around the outside. Chito ain't winning this fight. Like, by optics, there's no way in hell he was winning the fight. And then Tim said the same shit. And Sean's still trying to finish the fight the entire time. And so, like, so many people just disrespect him and think that, like, things were handed to him. Like, dude, he has shown time and time again why he's at the top. And I know everyone wants him to fight Merab. Sure. Look, my opinion, I think Merab's a great fighter. He is, like, a style that most would just get melted under, right? But the one thing you have to fucking say, like, Merab has a boring fighting style because it's like, sure, you dominate, right? You take people down 80 times, you fucking punch them a little bit. And most of the guys, when he's done, they're broken, right? They're broken, like their spirit is broken because they just got like walked on. But he doesn't finish the fight. And I don't think he tries to. And I think that that's my biggest gripe about watching him. Look, he has a personality. He's funny as hell. And I respect the fuck out of Merab. I just think that Sean versus Merab is like, I still will pick Sean because people are giving so much credit to Merab's like ability to take people down and stuff. But like, I don't see Merab finishing Sean anywhere. Like, I think the worst thing that will happen is he takes Sean down a bunch and like, that's where it ends, right? Like, it's just, he gets taken down a bunch and maybe loses the decision. But I see Sean catching him on the chin. Now, at the same time, I'm not sitting here to say Merab doesn't deserve this. He absolutely deserves a title shot. But I also don't like that I'm seeing a lot of Merab dick riders. I'm not seeing as many Corey Sandhagen ones. And I feel Corey Sandhagen is just as deserving of that title shot. I would give it to Merab over Corey by the sole fact that Corey's gotten that chance to fight for the title, the interim title, that is. Now, you could argue, obviously, it's because Dana felt a certain type of way. I don't like that. I get that Aljo and Merab are best buds, and that's great. But I think Dana felt like he was kind of sitting trying to just wait out a title shot, and he's like, you're not going to get that. And so Corey deserved that title shot, and right now Corey is right in the running to get that title shot. Also, Corey versus Sean, I think presents a lot more problems for Sean than Merab does, because I just don't think Merab has a way to finish Sean. I just don't. I really don't think he can finish Sean. I don't think he's going to finish him with strikes. He doesn't really go for a submission from what I've seen. I just don't think he's going to finish him. And I think Sean's jiu-jitsu and ground game, it's not talked about enough, but like Tim, his coach is like a total like he's devoted his life to this shit, and he's totally a nerd about jiu-jitsu. Like, the guy loves it, breathes it. He is like obsessed with rolling. Like, they do it together all the time. I really feel like Sean would actually prove to be pretty strong in the grappling on the ground. He just hasn't had a chance to show it, and he's not gonna. Why do it if you can outstrike the fuck out of your opponent? I just think Sean has a lot of ways to catch Merab, especially that like Henry Cejudo almost knocked Merab out. Like, if you watch that last fight, Merab clearly won the fight dominantly. But in that fight, I think it was the first round, Henry caught him with a hard shot where Merab's head shot back, his eyes rolled back. He could have been out if it was a Sean O'Malley shot. If Sean O'Malley lands like that on you, unless you're Chito Vera, are you really going to survive it? Time will tell on that one. I feel like this UFC right now could go either way. I'm not a big fan of the whole, like, I'm going to try and just shoot up a division, right? Because you got Ilya Topuria saying he's not going to fight anyone in featherweight and he's going to move up to lightweight. Yeah, whatever, dude. I disagree with that. At the same time, though, I don't fault Ilya because it's like, Yair just lost. Him and Yair have had some like back and forth shit. Yair just lost though. Like, who the fuck is he gonna fight? Because Movsar Evloev is like one of the most boring fighters that we've all watched. Ilya ain't gonna fight him. Like, why? He's not deserving of it. Even Dana White said, dude, like, your performances, you've won, but you think you deserve a title shot for that? Like, Dana's not into it. And when Dana's not into it, it usually doesn't happen. I think even in that case too, I just think that Ilya is going to get that win over Movsar. Like, I really do. So taking a look at all of that, I think that there is this perfect scenario where even though a lot of people are not into it, Sean O'Malley going up to fight Ilya isn't the worst thing in the world. Just off the sole fact that the featherweight division is in a spot where it's like, it's uncertain, right? Like, I don't want Volk to come back soon. I want him to take time. He deserves that rematch, but I want him to come back after he's had some time off. So right there, you got Volk out of the picture. Arnold Allen's up there. Like, I fuck with Arnold Allen, but like off the sole fact that, obviously the win was controversial. He did lose to Evloev. So it's like, does he deserve that title shot? I don't know. I do think that he presents some problems for Ilya because he has a really good chin and he has power himself. I feel like Max Holloway, though, has been kind of left out of this equation, but mainly because Max Holloway is going up to lightweight and fighting at UFC 300. Max could stay there. Now, the one thing that I dislike about Ilya's rise, he's had great fights, great wins, and respect to him as a champ. Like, he did this. He did the whole Conor McGregor thing. Like, I'm going to do this, and he did it. So, like, so much respect for that. The one thing I don't like, though, is he didn't have to go through Max Holloway. And if you look at every career, Yair Rodriguez was stopped by Max Holloway. Trajectory up, 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 up. He gets in there with Max Holloway. He didn't lose by a finish, but he got outclassed. And that's what happens. Max Holloway's kind of been this, like, he's been a force to be reckoned with in that division, only lost to the champ, and styles make fights. Just because Ilya finds the KO shot on Volk, it does not mean he's going to on Max. And Max doesn't get KO'd. He's never been KO'd. And like, I know that at some point someone, a fighter's chin goes away, but he's never been KO'd. And the dude has a fucking style that is just horrible to be around. Like, you don't want to fight a guy who's like Max. He's fucking throwing everything at you the whole time and he's not stopping. I just think Max versus Ilya is a great matchup for both guys. I think it's a great style matchup. And I think Max can get that win. Now, it's not to say that he would win. I just think he could. Because if you really think about it, Volk versus Ilya was a great fight. And Volk looked fantastic in the early going of the fight. Like, the thing that worried everybody is the way that Volk backs up. He's got his chin high, and that's what got him caught. But he was kind of outclassing Ilya in a lot of areas until Ilya just, he went balls to the wall and did what he did. All I'm getting at here is I think that from a featherweight division standpoint, there's not much there right now that's really enticing for Ilya or, pay-per-view wise. And given that he's got this star power, the UFC could have a just massive event by having Sean O'Malley, Ilya headline an event in Spain especially, but I think they could go anywhere. It'd be a big fucking fight because both guys present this weird area of like, Sean has the range, the length on Ilya. Ilya has this skill set that is second to none from a striking boxing perspective and can find that kill shot, but Sean has it as well. And that would just be a fucking masterclass performance, I feel like, for either one of them. I think they both, and I honestly, being a Sean fan, I would go for Sean, especially because he's American as well. But I cannot say with 100% certainty he's going to get the win because Ilya Topuria has that skill level and he has that one-shot KO power. And I think that given that also Sean he did receive a bad liver shot at the end, the fight with Chito, which obviously he's 5 rounds, right? So a body shot that you're not expecting. And also Sean didn't even need to be in the pocket at that point. What worries me about that is Ilya has that boxing style and also those body shots that he's able to mix into his combinations. He could hurt Sean with that body shot. And I think Ilya is probably taking note of that. So if Sean, in their fight, if they do fight, can keep that distance like he did with Chito and just find and pick his shots well, we haven't really seen Ilya's chin tested by many fighters. Obviously, he almost got KO'd by Jai Herbert, one of the hardest head kicks I've ever seen. He fucking got sat down with that and he came back from it. So, he's got a chin for sure. But, I do think if Sean and Ilya fight, Sean's going to have to find that kill shot sooner rather than later just because unless Sean's able to pace his striking, I feel like Sean, the way he fights, he's just an exciting fighter. He does not in a boring fight. He wants to finish a fight. So he fucking throws too much. To a point where you're I get worried for him because he's broken his hands, right? And I think a couple fights now, especially last night too, he's just throwing too much for his body's own good. His body can't handle the amount of strikes he's out throwing and also the power within those strikes. And I think that's why, he's breaking bones and shit. The guy is I saw people online saying some shit about Chito. Some dumbass said that Chito won 2, 3, or 2, 4, and 5. What the fuck are you watching? Don't even, you might be joking and trolling. If you have a comment like that, stop watching UFC and MMA. Just don't fucking watch it because it's honestly embarrassing that you would make a comment of that nature. And then another person goes, I don't really think it was a clinic if you leave the octagon in a hand wrap or a foot thing. It's bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Sean O'Malley left with a brace and a broken hand because of the damage he did to the guy he's fighting. It's not because Sean got caught by something or the other fight. He literally fucking broke his own bones hitting that other person so many times. So if you're going to sit here and act like he didn't put on a fucking clinic because he broke a bone, because he fucking used that bone to batter another human being, I don't know if this sport is for you. That's just my opinion. You should maybe watch some other fucking shit. I don't know what to tell you, but these comments I see, and look, I feel like I get baited into some of this shit because I will comment on that, on stuff like that, because I love this sport, and I feel like people need to give respect when it's due. Now, maybe I need to take my own advice. I feel a certain type of way about certain fighters, but I do try to pay that respect when it's due. And at the end of the day, like I said, I respect every fighter that gets in the octagon because it is a fucking grueling sport. And just to have the balls to get in there is more than most people could ever even dream of. So I do respect every fighter. I'm rambling. At this point, I just want to say Sean O'Malley had a masterclass performance. Hopefully Chito bounces back, but they should never fight again because Sean clearly proved this is not a fluke. He put on one of the best performances that I think anyone in the UFC history has put on as their first title defense. And I think what I am sad about is that a lot of fans are talking shit and they're finding ways to like discredit Sean instead of just realizing the greatness and also appreciating the performance he put on, because we have not seen a title defense of that quality without a finish for him to dominate in the way he did for fucking 25 minutes. It really has not happened in a long time. Like, Israel Adesanya really even hasn't had performances of that nature ever from a 25-minute domination perspective. Like, he's had some boring fights where it's kind of like pitter patter and he's running on the outside. He's not had like that brutal of a back and forth, like not even back and forth, a brutal, like just throwing these shots at a punching bag type fighter and just outclassing them completely. Like, obviously he's had, I'm just saying over 25 minutes, I don't think we've seen that caliber of striking and the amount of significant strikes differential overall, like triple. I think Sean more than tripled Chito's. So where I'm headed with this is just that Sean, you guys got to give him some respect. And I feel like right now it could go either way. He could defend against Merab or he could go up and fight Ilya. I'm happy with either one. I think that Merab deserves a title shot. Time will tell what happens. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Please subscribe below to keep up with some more MMA content. Going to be posting videos each week and just, keeping up with the MMA community. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.